Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some figures from the Black Series 6-inch line, and we're going to continue to take a look at some characters from Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm going to kick off my Black Series 6-inch reviews now with a really cool figure, and one that I am more than excited to have in the collection, and it is of course none other than this guy, the First Order Snowtrooper officer. This figure is a Toys R Us exclusive, and so far he's been pretty difficult to track down. It does seem that scalpers are, out in force to try and get their hands on this one, but if you're lucky, then your local branch of Toys R Us will indeed have this one in stock by the plenty. I was lucky enough to find this one in a decent quantity at my local Toys R Us, but as always, if you do have a little bit of issue trying to find this one at retail, then there is a link down below in the video description where you can pick this one up from staractionfigures.co.uk. They've managed to get a small quantity of samples in, so if you want one, that's the place to go. Before we get into the details of this figure, we are going to take a look at the packaging that he comes in. I've got to say, I'm a huge fan of what is now the third phase of Black Series 6-inch packaging. As you can see at the top of the box, we now have the Star Wars The Black Series logo. We have this really cool and very striking red background where the figure sits in the middle. And just down at the bottom we have this really cool piece of artwork of the Snowtrooper officer himself. One really cool thing that I found out recently was that this artwork is put together by an illustrator known as GREGORY TITUS, who I follow on Instagram, and I'll try and include a link to his profile down below so that you can check out some of his artwork. Just at the side of that we've got the Toys R Us exclusive logo as well on this sort of foil embossed sticker. On the reverse side of the box we've got a small description about the character. It's a very cool figure indeed, and really nice packaging, and this is definitely one that box collectors will want to keep in its packaging as it looks really nice inside its box. So enough about the cardboard, let's talk about the plastic that we get inside, and as I said, this guy is awesome. What I really like about this one is the sculpt and the paint applications are all really nice and crisp, really sharp, and it is just, in my opinion, one of the best 6-inch figures from the Force Awakens line. One of the things that is really cool about this guy is the finish on the helmet is really shiny and really smooth. It doesn't really come up on camera too well, but it is a really nice finish and it just looks superb. Very impressed with how Hasbro have handled this figure. It's a vast improvement rather over the 3 3/4 inch version that I previously gave you a look at. I've got to say this is definitely one of my favourite figures from The Force Awakens. In terms of articulation, obviously he is of very high standard and of premium Black Series 6-inch quality. We have a ball hinge and a joint at the neck, so not only can he look up, down and all around, but you get a nice range of movement within that head. We also have hinges at the shoulders, although obviously on one side that movement is slightly hindered by the shoulder pauldron. We also have hinges at the elbows and at the wrists, a ball joint, a very fluid ball joint at the torso, hinges at the hips as well, double joints at the knees and double joints in the ankles. So you can get some really cool poses out of this figure. As you can see, he also has that bit of galactic text printed on the chest armour with some nice panelled detail underneath there. Of course, he does come with the rather familiar Snowtrooper backpack. The camera itself is made of plastic, which again does hinder some of the posability, although it's made of a nice soft and rubbery plastic so that you can still get some decent poses out of the figure itself, so that's really good. In terms of accessories, he comes with the Stormtrooper rifle, which is very similar to the one included with Captain Phasma, although in this instance it's just painted up in the standard black and white colours of the F11D blaster rather than the silver and gold highlights that Phasma's blaster has. And all in all, it's a phenomenal figure. I am really impressed with this guy. Very happy I was able to get my hands on one, and again he does look very cool indeed. Love that helmet with the singular black strip. As I've said in previous reviews, very creepy, very mysterious elements to these characters. I can't wait to see these troopers in action when The Force Awakens arrives in theatres. So that's going to do it for this review on the First Order Snowtrooper officer. Phenomenal figure, highly recommended. And I'll be back to give you a look at some more figures from the 6-inch line very soon. Got another exclusive to give you a look at next, although this time it's a 2-pack. So until then, as always, keep collecting, and may the force be with you.